Oameni buni, este absolut genial ce se întâmplă aici. Suntem la lansarea lui Division 2 la Paris. Cei de la Ubisoft au organizat o chestie absolut bestială, foarte potrivită cu stilul, cu atmosfera jocului, cu ceea ce este The Division pentru cei care ați jucat deja așa ceva. Mai exact, ne aflăm într-o parcare subterană unde băieții ăștia au amenajat un decor demn de Division. Avem de toate. Peisaj din ăsta urban, distopic, cu civili care își fac mici plantații, cu mașini distruse, cu tot felul de megafoane din astea care anunță chestii pe stradă, exact atmosfera din joc. Singura problemă e că e un pic cam frig pentru că este iarnă, aici ninge, în parcare este rece, însă din punctul meu de vedere compensează prin spectaculozitatea decorului. Pentru o clipă te simți plonjând în atmosfera din joc. Ne-am jucat Division 2, bineînțeles, ne-a plăcut maxim. Din păcate, pentru mine personal, el a fost doar pe Xbox One. Nu sunt un mare fan al acestei console și nici nu sunt foarte familiar cu controalele, dar am fost asigurat că pe 15 martie, când va fi lansarea oficială a jocului, acesta va fi disponibil pe PC, PlayStation 4 și Xbox One. De fapt, mai multe detalii despre joc și despre, ce conține el și ce aduce el nou, ne dă chiar game directorul jocului, Matthias Carlson. Fiți atenți! For those who didn't play the first installment of the Division, what's the story in the new one in a few words? What should they expect?
In a few words, the Division 2 is 7 months after the crisis in Manhattan. So we're taking you from the snowy winter streets of New York to hot, humid summer in Washington, D.C., where you as a Division agent are coming in from the outside because you get a distress call from Washington. And you're there to figure out what's going on and how to set up division operations in Washington, D.C.
Who's going to be your adversaries this time?
It's a mixed bag of enemy factions, of course, but there are 3 main enemy factions that are roaming the streets, trying to take control of DC and impose, their view of the future on everyone else. And they're called the outcasts, the hyenas, and the true sons. And then something that we're extra, I think, happy about with Division 2 is the 4th faction, which we call the Black Tusk, that arrive at the start of Endgame. So when you think you're done, when you think you know everything, things change.
We played a little bit the end game, it's impossible. It's extremely
it's not final balancing, so make sure it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, and for those who already played the first Division, which are the main differences? Why should they go into the new game?
The list of things we've tweaked and improved and added is very long, of course. Like we're making the Division 2 with years of experience and learning and interaction with the community of fantastic players, and we're taking those learnings into the second game, right? But there are a couple of things I would like to highlight. I think first of all the setting is a great reason. It's really a place full of contrast and variety in terms of areas and biomes. It's a pleasure to explore, all the way from the narrow streets of Georgetown to the wide open spaces of the mall.
Okay, it's an open world.
It's very much an open world, and it's an open world that's filled with contrasts and differences. And this world is also another key thing that we've done in Division 2, filled with life in a way that we didn't see in the first game.
I can confirm that.
We've created what we call the living world system. So all the factions, not just the enemies, but also the civilians that are struggling to survive in this world, they are out there acting on goals and needs and ultimately generating a lot of activity, conflict, but also opportunity for the player.
Yeah. For a player who didn't play the first Division, should he play the first part, or you can dive into the new one without understanding everything?
If you didn't play the Division at all, you can absolutely jump straight into this game. There's nothing hinges on that you know the first game intimately, I think. And if you did play it, there's no reason why you shouldn't play 2, because it will be very familiar, yet very new. And I think what both new and old players alike will really enjoy in 2 is all the investment we made into Endgame at launch. So you're gonna have not just the new faction, but specializations that you experienced a little bit at the start of Endgame, where you as a player get to pick how to get even more powerful with new tools and weapons, like the big 50 cal sniper rifle.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
What did you add in terms of weapons, mechanics, stuff like that?
A number of things, of course. I mean, the scope of just weapons in this game is extended upon from the first, so there's probably over 100 unique weapon models, but also the specializations, which is kind of centered around what we call signature weapons. So the 3 specializations that we launched with for the Division 2, the marksman, the survivalist, and the demolitionist, have the 50 cal sniper rifle, the grenade launcher, and the crossbow. That is the 4th super weapon, if you will, that sits on top of your toolbox starting at endgame, and then you unlock even more skill variants, talents, special grenades, etc. So this is really for you to have an extended power journey in endgame.
Right now there are lots of shooters out there, all kinds of them. Why should I play the Division 2 instead of, I don't know, PUBG or whatever else? Try to convince me that I should play this game and I should give it a try.
The Division 2 has this really unique mix of being a really tight and fun, in my opinion, third-person shooter with truly deep RPG. So if you like either of those, you're going to find that this is a very pleasant mix where you can, if you like RPG, there is enough depth in these RPG systems to dive really deep. But if you're more a shooter player, you can stay more simple on the RPG side and really just enjoy that part of it. And the fact that it's set in the world around us, it's a place that you know and recognize, and you feel, I think, the unique tone and mood of Division 2 is that you feel, oh my god, it's uncomfortable, this could actually happen, this catastrophe. And I think the fantasy of being in that world, that open world that is completely online, an ability to play with other players and then have the journey through it all the way to endgame and everything that offers. I think it in total is a very unique package there.
One last question. What about the platforms and the hardware resources necessary to play the game?
So we'll release March 15th, first of all, so it's soon, on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, yes, and PC, of course.
Is they going to be in the same time or?
Yes.
In the same time. What about the PC resources needed? What kind of PC do I need to play through?
Oh, I wish I had that memorized for you.
I was asking because it's a lot of fuss right now about the 2000 series video graphics from NVIDIA and so on. Will those new features be supported? I
mean, we're super happy to have a collaboration with AMD for the Division 2, but we're, of course, massive. The head studio for the project where I'm from, we're also very technology-centric company, right? Where the Snowdrop engine that we built to build this game is really at the heart of our ambition to make sure that the game is running as well as it possibly can on any computer and any platform that you pick. So we really want to make sure that you don't need a monster computer to play the game.
That was my question.
No, you don't. But if you're a PC enthusiast, there's a lot of range there for you to really crank everything up to 11, right?
Ăsta a fost preview-ul la Division 2, sperăm că v-a plăcut. Dacă v-a plăcut, nu uitați like, share și bineînțeles subscribe acestui canal și promitem să acordăm în continuare o atenție cât se poate de mare gamingului. Pa!